including Australia's Foreign Minister Julie Bishop, who will be there representing Australia, because of course Australia has the presidency of the Security Council. So yes, how long? Who knows, Virginia? But certainly next week you'll see a bit of momentum in the talks.
And that was Lisa Miller chatting to us a bit earlier. Now, Australian researchers have found a way to create 3D maps of some of the world's most iconic buildings. They've created a mobile laser scanner which can capture millions of detailed measurements in record time.
Now, the device is so clever that you might remember we featured it here on the program. It won one of the recently awarded Eureka Science Prizes. Jonathan Roberts is the Research Director of the CSIRO's Computational Informatics Division, and he joins us in the studio. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's that thing you're holding?
So this is what we call Zebedee, and it's a laser scanner that moves back and forth on a screen. And it is supposed to do that. So as you walk around, this moves around naturally. The spring moves this device, and it maps the whole world.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's a very sort of cost-effective way of doing mapping. It looks a bit strange, but believe me, it's fantastic.
Just holding it tightly. How much does that cost, that piece of equipment?
This piece of equipment costs sort of the order of $20,000.
OK, hold it very tightly.
Hold it very tightly.
So it's got some little device in there or chip in there that's taking readings the entire time that it's moving?
That's right. It has a laser scanner on the top. This laser scanner is a little bit like a lighthouse. So there's a spinning device in here, and it's shooting out laser beams, and it takes a slice through the world. And then as we walk around and it moves back and forth like this, it actually covers the whole world.
Wow.
All right. Well, I'll ask the traditional question that I think should always be asked when we human beings come up with a new whiz-bang piece of technology. What problem does this solve?
So this makes 3D mapping cost-effective, and we can actually do it in real time. So traditionally you have to set tripods up with big devices, and it can take many sort of hours and days to map buildings, and it can be expensive just because of people's time, and the equipment's expensive. This suddenly changes the game, and you can put this in the hands of not a surveyor but the experts, say, in cultural heritage or the police department if they want to scan an accident scene or anything like that. So suddenly regular people can use this device.
Can I hold that? And while I ask the question, I just want to get a feel for it.
Get it away from me, Michael.
So this was used in the Tower of Pisa to come up with a very effective 3D map of that.
That's right. So nobody had before been able to map the inside of the Tower of Pisa. It's got a very complicated internal staircase. It's very cave-like, and it's been impossible for anybody to map that.
So even over all these years, all the architectural drawings, the engineering investigations, and there have just been hundreds, as you know, of the Tower of Pisa, they still haven't provided all the information that this device can give you?
That's right. They've been able to measure the outside with modern technology, and then they sort of measure from the outside by hand, inside, and then they do have maps, but they don't know how accurate they are.
So it's just a case of walking up the stairwell.
Exactly.
Swinging this thing around.
For me to walk from the bottom to the top took 10 minutes, and then we had the map.
A piece of cake.
A piece.
You just... that was an entire build-up just so you could say that, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Are you happy now?
I am, thank you.
Excellent. You happy?
Absolutely.
You love that sort of puns too.
Course,
You're from the CSIRO. That's right. Your kind of thing. All right. I'll try and hold the middle ground here. The good thing about doing that kind of map is that then that helps with the restoration and the saving of the Tower of Pisa.
Exactly right. So, should anything bad happen, earthquake or anything like that,
bad things are happening to that tower on a daily basis.
Well, I think it's stable now. But the other thing this can do is, because it's quick and easy, we can do it again, say, next year or the year after, and we can do comparisons. So it's very easy to compare, from time to time, so we can see changes.
Now, look, the genesis of this equipment is a little closer to home, though. This was developed for mapping the Jenolan Caves.
That's right. So our research team went and mapped Jenolan Caves with much larger equipment, and they spent a few days mapping the caves. They came back exhausted, and they said, we really need to invent something a little bit smaller. So they did. So from their own tough times in the caves, they came back and had this eureka moment, invented this device, and went back to the caves and did it all again much more quickly.
Give it here. Stop waving that thing around. Here you go.
Thank you.
You take care of it. Thank you. I think it needs its father. So
it's a great toy.
I guess this little device is going to have a big export market as well.
Oh, I think so. So we've actually commercialised this. So that the first device is now available. It's known as Zeb1, and it's commercialised from the UK.
I was about to ask you, is it being manufactured here in Australia? Of course, it's not.
It isn't, but it's absolutely being developed in Australia.
Is there scope for it to be manufactured here?
There's scope for this to be manufactured anywhere. In fact, this is 3D printed. So people have probably heard
really?
a lot about
Yes.
3D
Yes.
printing.
Yeah.
Well, this is all these bits are designed and they pop out of our 3D printer, and then we put it together.
Wow.
So it's quite straightforward.
That's like a mirror reflecting a mirror.
That's
So
right.
it's a 3D printer that's been printed on a 3D printer. Stop it. I'm my small
Too
brain
much
capacity
information.
can't handle that one. Congratulations. Well done. What's this project?
This next project, we're actually on Monday we're going to map an island off the coast of Brisbane.
Oh, really?
It's an old penal colony there.
Right.
Yeah, and prison called St Helena.
Fantastic.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Well, look, all the best and nice to meet you. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Can I keep that?
No.
No. You've always got to ask. Now, let's move on. And the biggest exhibition of Australian art to be shown overseas is about to open in London.
The show is simply called Australia, and it includes more than 200 works from the past 2 centuries. Our Europe correspondent Barbara Miller has been taking a look.